In 2009, Johnny Depp had just finished playing the outlaw John Dillinger in the movie Public Enemies, and he needed to get away. Get away from the acting, from the publicity, from all of it. You see, Depp has a special talent for inhabiting his characters fully and bringing them to life with something special, something unique. But that level of commitment comes at a steep price, both physically and emotionally. For example, just a few years earlier, Depp had played the famously debauched Earl of Rochester in The Libertine, and the role had been so demanding that Depp ended up bedridden for 2 weeks. And so, not long after the camera stopped rolling for Public Enemies, Depp hopped on his luxury yacht and sailed with a group of friends from Nassau in the Bahamas to his own private slice of paradise. Everything about this trip was meant to take him far away from the modern world. Even the decor on his yacht was straight out of the 1800s. As Depp himself said, anything too modern would, quote, kill the time travel. And on the island itself, Depp and his friends raised 1 or 2 glasses of daiquiri and rum to celebrate the island's beauty. They laughed, they reminisced, and they talked about their families. But the vacation wouldn't last long. Depp would soon plunge himself into a new film, The Rum Diaries, where he'd also meet and fall in love with the actress Amber Heard. And as you might recall, Johnny Depp's private island actually featured in the defamation trial between himself and Amber Heard. But all that lay in the future. Surrounded by his friends, Depp had no idea what was in store for him. He was too busy drinking in the Caribbean sunset, waxing about his favourite bands, and swimming in the sapphire blue waters of his private paradise. It was the calm before the storm. Now, as part of his court case with Amber Heard, a lot was made about the turbulence in his life. But the truth is, his childhood might have been his most difficult chapter. His mother constantly picked on, harassed, and abused Johnny and his siblings. And to make matters worse, his father, who Johnny describes as being, quote, shy and stoic, simply refused to stand up to her. As a young boy, Johnny had a lazy eye, and his mother used to call him cockeye, one-eye, or any other insult that would come to her. But sadly, the abuse was also physical, and young Johnny never knew when she was going to lash out at someone. And so it comes as no surprise that Johnny Depp said of his childhood, quote, I felt completely and utterly confused by everything that was going on around me. Perhaps as a result of this tragic situation, Depp first tapped into his artistic talent. As a kid, well, he had no private island to escape to, but he did have music. Quote, as soon as I got my guitar, I locked myself in my room every day after school and did nothing but play until I fell asleep. He dreamed of being a professional guitarist one day. Of course, for better or for worse, things didn't quite work out the way he expected them to. And as an adolescent, Depp found himself in LA as an unemployed musician. It was only thanks to the suggestion of his friend Nicolas Cage, that's right, that Nicolas Cage.
Okay, let's run.
It was only because of Nick that Depp tried his hand at acting. Just imagine if the two of them hadn't been friends, we may never have had characters like this, or like this. Now, Johnny Depp's rise to fame has been well documented, but very few people recognise the real man behind all of his quirky characters. One of his first major breaks was as an undercover cop in 21 Jump Street, a role that transformed him into a major heartthrob. But Depp didn't feel comfortable with that kind of image.
Well, they just started to build this image, and it had nothing to do with me.
Fortunately, while playing the now iconic pirate Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, Depp came across a piece of treasure. You see, while filming, he found Little Hall's Pond Key, his future slice of paradise. Finally, the actor behind Hollywood's most famous pirate had his very own hideout. Now, after consulting with his fellow island-owning actor Marlon Brando about whether or not he should purchase Little Hall's Pond Key, he decided why the heck not, and went ahead and bought it for $3.6 million. By the way, if you didn't know that Marlon Brando, aka The Godfather, had his own island, then you might want to check out this video next. Now, Little Hall's Pond Key is part of the Exuma Keys. They make up an expanse of 100,000 acres of ocean, islands and reefs, and they were also the world's first land and sea park. It's a tropical paradise where all the flora and fauna are protected. The fact that it's been made illegal to take any living thing from the island means it's now a haven for all sorts of threatened species. Species including the hawksbill turtle, the Nassau grouper, and the queen conch. Not to mention, its waters are filled with nurse sharks, stingrays, and even pigs. That's right, they may look a little out of place paddling in these bright blue waters, but these pigs sure do look happy, don't they? With so much beauty, it's no wonder Depp calls this his paradise. It's also no wonder why in 2016, after falling madly in love with Amber Heard on the set of The Rum Diaries, Johnny held a private wedding ceremony on the island. Now, considering how amazing Little Hall's Pond Key is, you might be imagining a fairy tale kind of wedding, but the truth is, even at that happy moment, there were already signs of trouble between the two. For example, Johnny's daughter Lily Rose refused to attend the wedding. While the reason for the snub remains unknown, Johnny Depp did admit at trial, quote, she and Miss Heard were not on particularly great terms for several reasons. Now, while he didn't go into the specific details, perhaps it was as a result of an incident on the island that his manager witnessed. According to Depp's manager, as Depp was in his car about to drive away from the house, Amber came out and blocked his way. The couple then walked back to the house together, arguing loudly. Amber is then alleged to have said to Depp, quote, you're going to die a fat, lonely old man. As he then walked away from the house, it's alleged that she started clawing at his clothing and hair, trying to pull him back. Ouch. Depp apparently took some scratches to the face but was otherwise okay, but it does kind of shatter the illusion of it being a fairy tale. Now, even though some of Johnny Depp's memories on his island may have soured, it still no doubt holds a special place in his heart. He's often talked about handing it on to his children, Jack and Lily Rose, and he hopes that the pristine landscape will be preserved and handed down from generation to generation. Such is Johnny's love for these islands that he once even mentioned, albeit jokingly, that he'd like to be king of the Exumas. And who wouldn't want to be king of these islands? One look around and you're hooked. One thing's for sure, with all the negativity surrounding both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard over the last few years, when all's said and done and Johnny wants to disappear from the limelight, you can bet your bottom dollar you know where he's gonna be. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, show your support by hitting that like button, and if you're not already, please consider subscribing for lots more videos. I'll leave the Marlon Brando private island video for you to check out next.